there has to be a business model here. I mean, you mentioned 40 parties that originally got together to take this. I think many of us recognize Better Stands originated with Informa, but then many of the other organizers got behind it as an open source industry-wide solution, and they've invested time and labor to produce this. And I know you got the steering committee. It's under Net Zero now. At IEFS, you're going to be the secretariat that helps manage this thing. There's cost involved in that, and I'm sure there's cost involved in getting certified or assessed. So
Yeah.
can you just touch on that lightly? What are the, not necessarily how much, but are there fees to be a member of this initiative and fees to get assessed?
There's different ways to look at it. And of course, there is a business model which still needs to be configured in various aspects. But we have started to allocate some, like streams or value chains where certain fees are applicable. Just an example, like any service provider should be accredited to secure for the ecosystem and for the client, especially, that they have a minimum understanding of sustainability and they have understood the Better Stands framework and how it works, introducing the guidance book, etc., etc. So that is a training session that has to be done by people. You cannot just pre-record that and say, yeah, I'll do fast forward and I've done it, so I get my whatever certificate or accreditation document or whatever. So it has to be done from people to people. So these human resources definitely require to be paid. And that is what the ecosystem is all about. So that means an onboarding process or an accreditation process of a service provider is definitely something we need to prove that this has been done. And the party that is requiring the label to be accredited has been doing an interview. It's one-on-one. We are a people's business. At the end of the day, we want to be accountable. So we need to prove that this has been done. Right? It's not done just online in a way where we say it's an avatar teaching you how to do things. That would be too easy. So far, I believe it has to be, an accreditation that is done by people to people to have a basic understanding and a common ground to move forward. The same thing applies to assessors, which we haven't been speaking about too much. Assessors are another stakeholder in the ecosystem where we feel they need to secure a couple of things. One is consistency and efficiency, that we are in the position that globally we compare apples to apples, and the 10-point framework is reported against worldwide the same way. So this is a very important group. They are independent. They secure consistency of the entire assessment system worldwide, and they train, of course, other trainers. So train the trainer is important, that we can scale the entire independent accuracy and consistency in the assessment process. Very important, because no one in this ecosystem should assess or self-assess their own work. That is not believable, or the result would be everybody has gold because I've done my own assessment for my own work. So that would not be really believable in that sense, that this is a value of a label or a standard in the end, if it becomes a standard, which is having a value to our clients. So that is the security we put in here, that you have a body which is independent, doing an assessment globally with the same tools, with the same standards, against the same framework, and we have a common understanding on how that is done.